You checked your score again this morning, same number. You checked it 3 months ago, same number. 6 months ago, same number. And the strange thing is, you cannot point to anything you did wrong. No missed payments, no maxed out cards, nothing dramatic. Just a score that seems completely unbothered by all the effort you are quietly putting in. That feeling right there, that quiet, confusing frustration, is exactly what this video is about. Because a stagnant score is not random. Something specific is holding it in place, and we are going to find it today. My name is Guy, and I spend way too much time thinking about why people who are genuinely trying to improve their credit score are still getting left behind by a system they do not fully understand. If you are someone whose score has been sitting still for months, or you feel like you are doing the right things but the number just will not move, make sure you hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if it helps you out. Let me start by saying something that might actually be a little uncomfortable. Most people who are stuck with a stagnant credit score are not stuck because they are doing nothing. They are stuck because they are doing the wrong things consistently or doing the right things in the wrong order and getting no feedback about any of it. The system does not tell you what you are missing. It just stops rewarding you, and that is exactly what we are going to fix right now. Here's the thing. A credit score is not a loyalty program. It does not go up just because you have been a responsible person for a few months. It goes up when specific measurable things change inside your credit file. And if those things are not changing, your score is not changing. It is that direct. So let us talk about the most common reasons your score is stuck, starting with the one that surprises people the most. Reason 1. Your credit utilization is too high and you do not realize it. Your credit utilization ratio makes up 30% of your FICO score. That is almost a third of everything. It measures how much of your available revolving credit you are using at any given time. And here is where most people get tripped up. They hear the advice to stay below 30% and they think that is the goal. It is not the goal, it is the floor. According to FICO, people with the best credit scores typically carry utilization in the single digits, often below 6%. Let me give you a real example. Say you have one credit card with a $3,000 limit and you carry a $900 balance every month. That is exactly 30% utilization. You are paying on time, you feel responsible, and you cannot figure out why your score is not improving. But the scoring model sees a $900 balance against a $3,000 limit every single month, and it keeps scoring you accordingly. The moment you bring that balance down to $150 or less, which is 5% of your limit, you will likely see meaningful movement in your score. Not eventually, within the next 1 or 2 billing cycles after your lower balance is reported to the bureaus. And speaking of reporting, lenders typically report your balance to the credit bureaus once per billing cycle, usually around your statement closing date, not your payment due date. That means even if you pay your card off in full every month, if your balance is high on the day your statement closes, that high number is what gets reported. Timing your payments to land before your statement closing date, not just before your due date, can make a significant difference in what the bureaus actually see. Reason 2. You have a late payment on your report that is still doing damage. Here is what most people do not realize. A late payment that happened 2 years ago can still be holding your score down today, even if your record since then has been perfect. Under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, a late payment can remain on your credit report for up to 7 years from the original delinquency date. And while its impact does reduce over time, it does not disappear the moment you start behaving well again. Payment history accounts for 35% of your FICO score, the single largest factor in the entire model. According to FICO simulation data, a single 30 days late payment can cause a score of around 793 to drop by 63 to 83 points. That is a dramatic hit. And if that negative mark is still sitting on your report, it is actively capping how high your score can go regardless of how well you are performing right now. The positive behavior you are building today is competing with the negative mark that is already there, and progress feels slow because it is slow. That is not a failure of effort. That is just math. What you can do is make sure that every single payment from this point forward is on time. The older that late payment gets, the less damage it does and consistent on-time payments compound over time to outweigh it. You can also check whether the late payment was reported in error, because errors on credit reports are more common than most people think, and disputing a mistake that was never yours to carry can move your score significantly in a short period of time. Reason 3. You close a credit card and do not understand what that did. This one gets people every single time. You paid off a credit card, felt great about it, and closed the account. Clean slate, right? Actually, that move may have hurt you in two different ways at the same time. First, closing a card reduces your total available credit, which immediately raises your utilization ratio, even though your debt did not go up. Second, if that card was one of your older accounts, closing it can reduce the average age of your credit history, which affects the length of credit history factor that makes up 15% of your FICO score. Here is the math on utilization. Say you have two cards. Card A has a $4,000 limit with a $1,200 balance. Card B has a $2,000 limit with no balance. Your total available credit is $6,000 and your total balance is $1,200, giving you a utilization of 20%. Now, you close card B because you never use it. Your total available credit drops to $4,000, but your balance is still $1,200. Your utilization just jumped from 20% to 30% without you spending a single dollar more, and your score drops accordingly. The general rule is this: do not close old credit cards unless there is a compelling reason, like an annual fee. You cannot justify a card with no balance that is just sitting open is doing useful work by keeping your available credit high and your average account age intact. Reason 4. You keep applying for new credit and absorbing the damage without realizing it. Every time you apply for a new credit card or loan, a hard inquiry is added to your report. A single hard inquiry can lower your score by roughly 3 to 7 points. That might sound manageable, but if you applied for a store card here, a new card there, and maybe a financing offer somewhere else, those inquiries add up quickly. And they stay on your report for 2 years, though most scoring models stop counting them against you after 12 months. Now, you might be thinking 3 to 7 points is not that much, and you are right in isolation. But here is the bigger problem. Multiple applications in a short period signal to lenders that you may be in financial distress and actively seeking credit to cover it. That perception raises your risk profile across the board, and lenders who review your file manually will notice it even beyond the point impact. Reason 5. You are waiting for the report to update, and you do not realize how long that takes. Lenders report changes to credit bureaus on a delayed schedule, typically every 4 to 6 weeks. So if you paid down a large balance last week, your score has not moved yet because the new balance has not been reported. This is one of the most common sources of frustration. People make a real financial improvement and then check their score 3 days later, expecting to see a reward. It does not work that way. Give it a full billing cycle before you evaluate whether what you did is working. This is where it gets really interesting, because understanding the reporting timeline changes how you approach your strategy. If you know your statement closes on the 15th of each month, you make your big payment on the 14th, not the 25th. You work with the cycle, not against it. And that one adjustment alone can change what the bureaus see every month without you doing anything different financially. So here is your action plan. Pull your credit report today from annualcreditreport.com and look for 3 things. First, check your utilization on every revolving account and target getting each one below 10% if you can. Second, look for any late payments and verify they are accurate. If they are not, dispute them. If they are legitimate, start the clock on consistent on-time payments right now. Third, look at your account ages and stop closing cards that are helping your history stay long. Your score is not stuck because you are doing nothing. It is stuck because the system is responding to specific inputs, and 1 or 2 of those inputs need to change. Once you know which ones, the path forward becomes a lot clearer. Drop a comment below and tell me the one thing you think has been holding your score back. I read every single one. Subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video. Progress is not always visible before it is real. Keep going.